silence holds its breath. The night still clung to corners, untouched by death. The air was cold, but soft like whispered grace. And I could almost see your fading face. The kettle hummed a note the way you used to hum, a melody that told me what I'd become. The empty cup still carries your old scent, and mornings feel like poems left and bent. The sunlight spills across your chair in gold, a gentle thief where your shadow used to hold. I trace the air where your laughter should have stayed, but the warmth it leaves is quietly decayed. The world outside is breathing slow and thin, and I am just a guest within its skin. The clock ticks off like footsteps through a hall. Every sound reminds me of it all. I pour another cup I'll never share, and let the steam curl like your absent hair. The day begins, but I don't follow through, for half my life still waits for you. You left a world that still pretends to move, while mine stayed still in the shape of your groove. I try to stand, but memories weigh deep, and love like ours refuses sleep. Your coat still hangs beside the open door. I leave it there, it hurts, but I need more. The wind slips through and whispers your old name, and nothing here has ever felt the same. If time could heal, it would have done so now, but years just circle back somehow. I've learned to live in colors muted thin, but your hue still burns beneath my skin. Oh, the light, it softens everything it sees, but not the space between our memories. I walk through rooms that hum your tune so low. Each echo fades, but never lets me go. Evening finds me tracing past again, in little things you left beneath the rain. A folded note, a stain of candle wax, a promise lost between the cracks. So I sit and let the warmth begin to fade from the sunlight of the love we made. And in that hush I finally understand. You never left, you just became the land. silver awning, I'm counting every tear. The city hums its secrets, yet you're not near.
Each drop that falls remembers what we were and whispers things I still can't stir.
You stand inside the glass, your breath against the pane. I see my name reflected in the rain.
You said you'd stay until the thunder dies, but storms like us don't compromise.
We're echoes in a room we used to know, two hearts rehearsing how to let it go.
But even silence learns to say your name, and love keeps
burning through the rain. The rain between us keeps falling slow, washing over all the things we know. Every word we left unspoken, still alive, but never broken. I walk beneath the streetlight, soft and warm. It feels like home, it feels like every storm.
If I close my eyes, I see your face again,
inside the rhythm of the rain. You said goodbye like autumn fades away. Quiet, but it took my world that day.
now every cloud still carries what we lost,
and every tear recalls the cost. Can you hear me through the downpour sigh? Can the rain forgive the reason why? If tomorrow brings the morning's trust, maybe love will bloom from dust. The rain between us keeps falling slow, washing over all the things we know. Every word we left unspoken, still alive, but never broken. The sky keeps crying for the both of us, and I can't tell if it's grief or love. Let the water hide our scars. Let the clouds forget who we are. Somewhere beneath this endless sky we said goodbye, but never why.
doorway glowed with half-forgotten light. Your voice still lingered somewhere in the night. I heard the echo fade behind the floor, and I knew I'd miss you even more. The hallway sighed beneath my tired shoes, every creak a verse of what I lose. Your laughter still alive within the frame, where photographs refuse to change. I poured the wine we never got to share. The glass caught fire but you weren't there. The air was thick with what we didn't say, and silence stole the night away. I left the lamp on just to see you gone, a trick of hope I built upon. The chair beside me whispered in defeat, a ghost that hums our old heartbeat. Stay a little longer though the night is thin, let your shadow brush against my skin. One more lie that I can hold as true, stay until the light breaks through. Forgive the dreams I kept, the sheets still warm where you once slept. And if you're gone, then let me stay behind with echoes that my heart designed. There's a record spinning on the floor, your song repeats forevermore. The needle hums the truth I can't erase, that love remains but leaves no trace. If I close my eyes I see you turn, a smile that flickers, a fire that burns. I trade my breath for just one sound, of footsteps lost but never found. Stay a little longer if only in a dream, where everything is what it seems. Don't fade like smoke through open doors, stay until my soul restores. Now time unravels thread by thread, I count each word we left unsaid, and somewhere in the quiet hum I hear you say I'll never run.
I hold the hush before the flame takes breath. The room is dusk, the light is soft to death. The kettle ticks like tiny metronomes, and all my yesterdays become these homes. The window gathers pearls of winter steam, I breathe them in and out, a tender dream. A scarf you left is warming up my wrist as if your hands return inside the mist. I speak your name and hear the lamplight lean, a secret chord between the seen and unseen. My heart unbuttons slow, a careful seam, and every thread remembers how we dream. The clock says 5, but grief says almost dawn. I taste the night, but something carries on. That something is the amber of your voice. It tells me quiet isn't lack of choice. I lay a vinyl down and let it spin. The needle mends the part where I grew thin. A minor blaze of chords becomes my guide, and little sparks of courage start to slide. I do not beg the morning to arrive, I only ask permission to survive. To hold a cup the way you used to hold my shiver, then return me to the gold. The curtain moves, the street exhales a car. I never was, and still I am this far. A promise in the dust along the frame, a message written once in simple flame. You said be slow with pain, let daylight teach. Now here I am, and dawn is within reach. The first bird draws a line across the blue, a single note that opens into two. I hum along a thread without a word, until my chest becomes that little bird. I will not chase the echo out the door. I'll let it roost inside my ribcage core. And when the water sings the quiet boil, I bless the scars that made a softer soil, where something small and faithful learns to grow and finds a pulse beneath the afterglow. The world is not as loud as it once was, but every silence has a tender cause. I pour the tea and feel the warmth ascend, the cup a tiny sun I can befriend. I raise it to the mouth that said goodbye, and sip the truth that never fully dries. If love is light, it doesn't always blaze. It sometimes lingers in the in-between haze, in skin-warm porcelain and patient air, in chairs that wait and windows learning care. I set the saucer down and close my eyes, and hear the hush rehearse its lullabies. Your shadow folds its wings and starts to rest, and leaves a small brave ember in my chest. The streetlight fades, the day begins to bloom. The hush becomes a key to every room. I turn that key and step inside my skin, where I can be with loss and also win. I fasten buttons made of early sun, and practice being only one. take a step, another, then a third. Each footprint holds the echo of that bird. I won't erase the hush that got me here. I'll let it be a soft and faithful gear. Without a current, just like you. The city yawns and polishes its bones, and morning sets its quiet, patient tones. A sparrow writes a comma on the sky. I pause between the breath that says goodbye. The table keeps a ring of silver light from last night's tea we didn't share outright. The keys you left are sleeping in a bowl, like tiny moons that learn to lose their role. I touched them once and set them back to rest, a little ritual my hands know best. The mirror does not argue with my face, it lets the years arrive with sober grace. I smooth the mess of thoughts behind my eyes and choose the simplest truth that never lies. I loved you when the snowfall found our street. I loved you when the summer burned our feet. I'd love you in the hour made of rain. I love you even after love was pain. Keeps widening its sea, and something in me loosens quietly. It isn't letting go in any rush, it's just a kinder way to hold the hush. A record breathes a velvet smoky chord and writes my name the way you'd once adored. It doesn't heal, it steadies how I stand, like robin feet on winter tenderland. I water plants that tilted towards your voice. They lift their green and make another choice to find the sun where I can set them near, and not the door where I kept waiting dear. The kettle speaks in syllables of steam. I answer with a yes that doesn't scream. A yes to small repairs, to woven days. A yes to walking slow in softer ways. Becomes a common friend. It doesn't need a start or need an end. It holds the town, the clouds, the passing train, and gives it back without a claim of gain. I press my palm against the velvet pane and feel the cool translate a kind A calendar is waiting on the wall. I mark a date where I will try to call. Not you, but me, the version still afraid. I'll ask her out to sit beneath the shade. We'll count the cars and let the minutes float, and leave the heavy words inside the code. I think of how your laughter bent the room, and how its echo planted quiet bloom. Some blossoms are not meant to leave the stem. They scent the air and live as light not there. Window keeps on holding undisturbed. A choir of small returning things observe. The kettle cools, the cup grows warm and thin. I take a sip and let the healing in. The city finds its rhythm underfoot, and I tie up my hair with steady suit. I take a breath, another, then one more, and turn the lock before I leave the door. The hallway shares a photograph of years. I nod to both the joys and both the tears. The stairs descend like verses of a song. I hum the bar where I can walk along. Outside, the blue becomes a tender gray, the kind that doesn't take the blue away. It mixes them like watercolor rain, and teaches me to love the woven plain. I lift my hand to hail the patient day, and choose a simple, ordinary way. We met where paper lanterns warmed the street. Your laugh made every winter feel discreet. I said your name and watched it change the air. You said mine back, and suddenly I dared.
We walked along the river's copper skin. The city hummed a low and tender din.
You took my hand, the way the moon takes tide. I let the night unclasp the guard I hide.
We talked in quiet paragraphs of truth, and listened like we used to back in youth. You told me fear still braided with your hope. I told you I had learned a softer scope.
We stepped beneath the bridge of iron lace, and heard a train rehearse its distant bass. Our footprints wrote a cursive on the frost, and every curve recovered something lost.
We paused beside a noodle shop that steamed, and let the broth perfume the life we dreamed. You asked me if forgiveness had a sound. I said it's when two hearts can stand their ground. You smiled and pointed upward at the red, a row of lanterns, promises unsaid. They swayed the way our voices learned to sway, not rushing rush into the chorus just to stay. Together we began to count the lights, like old musicians counting time and nights. 1, 2, a breath, then 4 and 5 and 6. And in that space the hurt began to fix.
We didn't name the future, not this time. We let the present hum its quiet rhyme. And when the wind rehearsed a colder key, we tucked our hands, more certain, you and me.
You said you'd keep the little notes you make, to show up when my shadows start to ache. I said I'd leave a lantern by my door to guide you home, to need a little more.
We passed a singer playing minor soul, a voice that turned our fragments into whole. We stopped and let the melody explain the way the heart survives a gentle rain.
We didn't kiss, we didn't need the show. The way we breathed was proof enough to know. And in the alley steeped in cumin smoke, we laughed at jokes the city never spoke. We shared a card of chestnuts paper thin, and broke them open warm in bone and skin. The song returned, the singer found the bend,
And gave us both a bridge we didn't end.
It slow and let the chords resolve, like puzzles that our patience learns to solve. Then by the river, lanterns at our back, we drew a map of tenderness we lacked.
We marked the places grief had left a seam, and promised time to stitch the in-between. You touched the lining of my winter coat, and said my name as if it were a note.
I held your gaze and let the night reply, with all the little yeses we denied.
We turned around and walked the other way, not to avoid but lengthen out the stay.
We found a bench and shared the city view, and let the small talk do what small talks do. How work is hard, how mornings come too soon, how coffee tastes like courage afternoon,
How friends grow quiet when they cannot mend, how being here makes all of that unbend. And when the hour folded into two, we stood and bowed to lanterns, me and you. We didn't say goodbye, we said good light, and let the river carry us The cafe at the edge of noon, the spoons made silver rain. Steam lifted like a prayer from porcelain lanes. I traced a circle on the table where your book once lay, and tasted cinnamon that used to spell your name. A soft guitar was breathing from a radio in the wall. The waitress wiped the counter like erasing what I saw. Outside the light was patient, painting windows thin. I pressed my palm to glass and let the quiet in. The sugar packets lean like little paper spines. A calendar of tender, unassuming signs. I kept my voice inside my cup to keep it warm, and let the silence hold me like a gentle storm. I wore the sweater you forgot one winter late. It fit like promised endings, learning too late. A father tied his daughter's scarf in careful loops. She spun like tiny galaxies and laughed in swoops. I thought of how you taught me how to slow my breath, to count to 4, to make a truce with death. The coffee ring became a moon that wouldn't dry, a tide that rose whenever I would try to fold the napkin into shapes of letting go, a paper boat that never found the flow. I read the notes you penciled on my shoulder blade, invisible but bright as vows we made. Be kind to what you cannot change, you wrote. Then underline the margin of that note. I paid for one and left a tip for 2, because the table still remembered you. The bell above the door rehearsed a heart, a minor ding that didn't fall apart. I stepped into the noon that felt like dawn, a day reset, a softer kind of yawn. The crosswalk hummed a measured, steady beat. My footsteps answered back with second seat. A bus exhaled a cloud of chalky white. I crossed through feathers of forgiving light. A sparrow hopped beside a puddle's rim and drank a sky that overflowed its brim. I saw my face and let the ripples blur, because the day was big enough for her. A woman on the phone said I'm okay, and somehow I believed her anyway. The floor is a patchwork quilt of leaf and root and mold. I sat and let the bench teach patience slow, the sort you can't perform, you only know. And in that hour at the edge of noon, I hummed the part you used to hum in June. Not loud, not long, just one forgiving bar, enough to tell my ribcage who we are. I stood and tucked the stem behind my ear, and felt the day lean closer, less severe. I whispered to the wind I'm almost new, and from the cafe door the bell rang too. The sound did not belong to you or me, it simply blessed the crossing of the sea between the life we planned and life that is. And I walked on, a careful, grateful quiz. I don't know all the answers, never will, but noon can hold a heart and keep it still. And if you pass this corner one bright day, you'll see my cup and know I found a way. There is a station where the rails remember us, a bench of painted wood, a piece without a fuss. The morning wears a scarf of early gray, and doves translate the halting light today. I sit and feel the timetables exhale, the numbers soften into a human scale. A thermos warms the pocket of my coat, and in its steam 1,000 letters float. The platform holds the weight of other feet. Their stories braid and pass and don't compete. I do not chase the engines when they leave. I let the quiet lead and let me breathe. Your name is chalk across a sleeper's grain. It fades and stays the same in gentle rain. The speakers crackle, practicing a word, a syllable of hope I haven't heard. A ticket rests inside my woolen glove. It doesn't promise answers, only love. A love that walks beside me, not ahead. A love that sets a pillow for my dread. The rails are parallel like prayers and rules. They never meet but carry what one knows. And somewhere past the bend, the arc of blue, a whistle stitches distance back to true. I count to four the way you taught me once. I let the ribs unclench their careful puns. The first car lingers like a second chance. A pause, a bow, a small and sacred dance. The second hum becomes a velvet thread. It ties my breath to dawn instead of dread. The third is not a sound but simply light that moves across the concrete, kind and slight. The fourth arrives inside my open hands, an ordinary courage that withstands. I rise and pace the length of painted line to show my legs the meaning of be mine. Not anyone's, not even what was lost, just mine to carry kindness at no cost. A woman with a suitcase meets my eyes. We trade the nod that honest morning buys. A boy counts freight cars one by one by one. His mother laughs and says, and then we're done. I let that laughter fold into my chest. It makes a cradle for the heart to rest. A clock declares the minute I should board. I choose to stay and let the day afford another hour for the ground to learn, a gentler way to hold what cannot turn. I trace the air where once we waved goodbye, and bless the space that taught me how to try. A train arrives, but not the one I need. I step aside and practice being freed, freed from being always first to run, free to wait until the waiting's done. The doves lift off and write a quiet arc, a parenthesis of light around the dark. The rails keep singing lower now and near, a softness like the word for volunteer. I volunteer to meet myself today, kiss me and breathe in what the morning made. A whistle opens like a patient door.
I found your borrowed jacket in the hall, the one with frayed cuffs, city smoke and fall. I pulled it on and felt the weight of scenes, 1,000 doorways, half-remembered means. The lining kept a concert stub from June, a smudge of midnight, fingerprints of moon. I stood and let the past adjust my frame and said my name until it sounded sane. The zipper stuck the way the truth can stick. I breathed and eased it slow instead of quick. Outside the elevator hummed a sea, a tuning note for ordinary me. I pressed the button down and watched it blink, like small approvals telling me to think. The lobby smelled of soap and lemon rain. A mop composed a modest loop in chain. The doorman nodded, asked me how I'd been. I said, still learning light beneath the skin. The street was making tea with winter sun. I stirred my hands and made a second one. A bus side open like an honest book. I took a seat and let the day unhook. Across the aisle a man repaired a shoe. He tied a knot and whispered, that'll do. I kept that sentence folded near my chest, a pocket charm for when I need to rest. The jacket warmed a part of me I missed, a square of brave where sorrow once had hissed. I walked 3 blocks to where we used to meet, a bakery that sugared every street. I bought the loaf you loved and then I stayed to watch the simple work of bread obey. The baker brushed a sheen of patient shine on rows of quiet crescents set in line. He looked at me and said, first rise is key. You let it breathe and bread will set you free. I smiled and thought of how you let me rise, by leaving room for unassuming skies. I left a slice outside for passing hands, because beginnings travel different lands. The jacket held the weather like a song, It made the cold feel measured, not so long. I crossed a bridge that stretched from grief to this, a thin blue line of work and tenderness. Below the river counted every spark of sun that landed kindly on the dark. I stopped to name them all I could not name, and let the rest be blessings just the same. The wind rehearsed the chorus we once wrote, about a future big enough to float. It didn't fail, it only changed its key and asked a softer instrument of me. I checked the pocket on the right for notes, found linen courage, both of which I wrote in letters only I could understand, a shorthand for a steadier open hand. I headed home by longer, safer streets, where porch lights practice keeping gentle beats. Afternoon bent down and kissed my eyes, a posture of a world that sometimes tries. Back in the hall I hung the jacket straight and left a little space for what is late, for what arrives without the need to win, for what begins exactly where I've been. I touched the cuff and said I'll see you soon, then brewed some tea and made a second spoon. I held it up to air and let it steam. I set a chair across from mine to wait for conversation. Time will nominate.
Morning iron lifts the sky, Blues braid a steady sigh. Coffee warms my working hands. Maps unfold like gentle plans. Keys are light but hope is lighter. Streetlights fade, the sun is brighter. I count 4 beats, then start to move. Doorways breathe their winter air. Steps remember how to care. Mailbox holds a folded note. Be the raft, the margin road. Crosswalk clicks a patient meter. I walk softer, not defeated. Every corner holds a proof. Windows hum with radio souls, slow and warm like healing coals. Shop front glass reflects a face, learning unembarrassed grace. Tie the scarf, release the weather. Name the weight and live together. Little vows become enough. Stairs of stone and silver grid teach the body how to sit, how to stand and not apologize for trembling that never lies. Elevator blinks forgiveness, rises slow with ordinary kindness. I exhale and write it up. Office door, a friendly hinge, paper stacks that will not cringe, screens awake in blue and mild, cursor waits like trusting child. I reply with honest sentences, not the kind that build defenses. Truth arrives and takes a seat. Lunch bell writes a gentle break, steam from soup like calm awake. I unwrap a simple bread, feed the present, not the dread. Birds compose a roofline chorus, city breathes and still adores us. Cabs make chalk on winter streets. Afternoon, a fragile flame, work continues, none to blame. File a hope, return a fear, stamp today I showed up here. Water plants that bow to thirst, let them sip the quiet first. Watch them lift their little hands. Phone lights up with someone's ache, I reply you didn't break. Rivers turn and so do we, meet at 4 near Willow Tree. We will talk of small repairs, trade a sleeve of honest prayers, leave with sleeves of steady heat. Evening polishes the rails, distant whistle faithful tales. Groceries hum inside the bag, apples lean against a flag of simple meals and second chances. Kitchen welcomes tired stances, boiling water sings of peace. Night arrives without a shout, draw the softer shadows out. Set a chair for what is late, name the goodness learned by weight. Write one line, I kept the light, sign my name with tender might. Sleep inside this city's heart. Morning will return again, not to end but to begin. I will lift my humble part, thread by thread and art by art. Every block a quiet chorus, every hand a lantern for us. Small courage makes a giant start.
Leave the door ajar tonight, let the hallway borrow light. Let the floorboards learn my name, without hurry, without blame. Let the kettle find its key, in a minor warm and free. Let the spoon conduct the steam. I have walked the longer block, counting mercy, counting clock. Wind rehearsed a softer choir, ash turned ember, ash to fire. Coat still smells of cedar rain, pocket keeps a steady grain of courage I forgot I had. Picture frames have learned to bend, holding losses like a friend. Books remember how we sat, trading silences for that little nod that meant I know, even when we couldn't go past the ache that wouldn't move. I won't crown the night with noise, I will choose the smaller joys. Fold a blanket, set a chair, make enough and make it fair. 2 cups even if I'm one, that is how the brave is done. Practice welcome, practice stay on the sill a sprig of time. Teaches patience, teaches time. Windows breathe a winter tune. Something honest, something true. plaster walls, tender thunder, tender calls. Proof that life continues here. Write a note and tape it near. Back at 8 or maybe near. Smudge of ink, a human line. Permission slips to be just mine. Set the shoes beside the mat. Thank the day for this and that. Name the gifts I almost miss. Bread and soup, a quiet bowl. Fill the rooms that once were cold. Radio in velvet low sings the part I used to know. I don't turn it louder now. I just listen, learn the vow of doing small things very well. Phone is dark and that's okay. No one's lost if I don't say everything I think and feel. Tonight is stitches, not the seal. I fold the grief, I fold the joy into fabric I employ as blanket for the tender leaves, blanket for the tender leaves, blanket for the tender leaves. Moon invents a safer street, silver chalk on honest feet. I step out to breathe the night, leave the door with gentler light. Lock it not with iron fear, but with faith that holds me near to the person I became. When I circle back to home, stairs recite a measured poem. Keys agree to take their place on the tray of simple grace. I exhale the wasted war, touch the hinge and bless the door. Leave it just a little wide. If you come by wind or chance, you may see the rooms advance into something soft and true, built of now and built of you. If you don't, that's also fine. I can be a steady line. Leave the door ajar tonight.
The house is quiet, not alone. Dawn rise silver on the phone. Kettle sketches, little rings. Air remembers softer things. Curtain lifts a measured inch. Lest the morning make me flinch, then relax into its hand. Table keeps a patient score of who I was and what's in store. Cup and saucer, porcelain moon, orbiting a tender noon. Spoon becomes a metronome, clicking home and clicking home. I keep time with open ribs. I will not rush what I learned to slow. I will not force the rhythm. count to 4, I count again. Breathe like water after rain. Shoulders loosen, jaw unwinds. Blinking back the winter blinds. Light unbuttons, careful cloth. Your letter sleeps in cedar box, wrapped in linen, wrapped in clocks. I do not read it every day, but knowing it is there can say I am held by something kind, even when I'm out of mind. Mercy has a forward face. Outside sparrows stitch the air, running seams from here to there. Wing beats draw a dotted line where the small and brave align. They do not ask for proof or crown. They do not write their triumph bound. They arrive and that is all. I hum a bar you used to start, not to ache you but to heart, just to measure soft and plain, like a window kissed by rain. Then I let the humming rest, folded in my open chest. Breathe continues, music stays. Floorboard answers with a creak. Old house language, honest meek. It reminds me age's gift, not a ledger, not a rift. Every mark a story told, every warp a hand to hold. I say thanks to wood and nail. Teapot whispers clear and low, says it's time to pour in slow. I obey and crown the cup with the sun that rises up. Honey falls in amber thread, spells a word the hungry read. Enough in cursive, warm and bright. Window learns a softer blue, not the urge and not the new, just the hue of being here. After grief and after fear, I sip quiet, I sip grace. I let patience find its place on the shelf of daily read. Shoes are waiting by the door. Today they ask a little more, not a race but honest smiles, woven with the neighbor's smiles. Errands strung like prayer beads, meeting small and simple needs. I will wear the kind of pays. Coat is light, but heart is lighter. Shoulders broad, the day is brighter. Steps awake, the city's hymn. Low and sturdy, never thin. I hum nothing now, just breathe. Leave the melody beneath everything that grows from here. I close the latch with gentle care. Bless the rooms and bless the air. Thank the abbot held my hand, taught my feet a safer land. When the dusk remembers me, I will answer steady free. Hummingbird within the chest. If you pass and hear a trace of a tune without a face, no, it isn't sorrow's claim. It's a quiet living flame. Two soft bars that start the day, then the courage not to play. Every measure, all at once.
We walk a narrow railing where the city softens death. Your coat brushes my sleeve and the winter learns our names. The water keeps our promises, returns them without claims. We choose to speak in whispers so the night can hear us well. The bridge remembers footfalls like a careful minor bell. Steam rises from a paper cup, a little borrowed sun. You hand it to me slowly, like the day has just begun. We watch a fairy carve a line, a stanza made of foam. And every light along its deck writes mercy into home. You ask me what forgiveness is, I point to moving tide. The current doesn't argue, it just holds us as we glide. We stop beside a pillar where the iron learns to bloom. Rust red against the evening, like a held unwritten room. Your laughter folds the metal into velvet for a beat. I answer with a silence that can finally take a seat. A busker tunes a low guitar, a lantern on his knee. He hums the key of staying, not of winning, not of flee. We drop a coin of gratitude. He nods without a word and plucks the chord that once was ours, but softer than we heard. Our footprints braid like cursive in a chalk of frost and light. They loop and open gently, never crowding out the night. You take my hand the way the moon takes hold of restless tide. Not pulling, only guiding, where the shore can still abide. We name the places where we broke, then bless them where they stand. Like bridges built from losses that returned a steadier hand. I tell you I am learning how to breathe without a crown. You tell me you are learning how to set the burden down. We let the river underline the vows we do not say. A shimmer makes the period where fear would write the grave. A child releases paper boats, a fleet of tiny prayers. They tremble, then they straighten, like our cautious mended airs. We walk again, a slower pace that honors what we keep. A rhythm made for living, not for trophies, not for sleep. Your shadow leans across my coat, a gentle loyal wing. I stand a little taller, hear the softer chorus sing. The singer lifts to minor 5, then lays the cadence low. We practice not resolving what the morning ought to know. We pass the stairs that lead below to echo and to stone. I choose the bright horizon, you choose not to go alone. A breeze rehearses rosemary and coal from nearby grills. It tastes like ordinary peace that every day distills. We count the lanterns one by one, then lose the count to grace, because the number mattered less than walking walking at this pace. I brush a flake of winter from the corner of your hair. You smile like it's permission to be fully present there. We reach the final span where water widens into sky, and let our chests grow wider too, no longer asking why. We turn before the end because we want a longer way, a chance to say good light instead of final heavy say. The river keeps our footprints, then erases them with care. We let it be the teacher of the love we choose to bear.
I stitch a coat of daylight with a lining made of tea, buttons carved from quiet seams that let my shoulders be, a pocket for the breath that used to run from every room, a pocket for the name that now returns as tender bloom. I fastened it with patience so the fabric doesn't tear. I wear it over tremble and it learns my way with care. The mirror doesn't edit me, it offers honest light. It shows the places tenderness grew visible from night. I tie my hair with mercy like a ribbon made of rain. I do not hide the weather, it can polish, not just stain. I choose a slower staircase with the handrail warm and kind. I let the steps explain their faith to ankles, calves, and mind. The kettle finds its center note and holds it just for me. I pour a cup that says you're here, and that is victory. I take the window's softer blue and spread it on my chest. I breathe until the armor feels like linen made for rest. I walk into the hallway where the pictures learn to bend. They keep the truth from cracking, they allow the grief to mend. I leave a little space between the frames for breath to pass. I let the dust write scripture in a fine and common glass. Outside the street composes with a pencil made of wheels. It sketches arcs of ordinary love that gently heals. The florist ties a ribbon on a humble stem of green. I buy it like a lighthouse for the days I can't be seen. I tuck it near my pulse so I can feel the steady proof that something small and faithful still is singing on the roof. I practice being slow enough to register a smile from strangers who are strangers only for a little while. I carry home a loaf that learned to rise by simply staying. I slice it, bless the crumbs, and thank the heat for quiet praying. My phone is face down, breathing like a stone beside the sink. It doesn't hold a verdict, it can rest, and so can I think. I write a line that's almost poem, almost just a list. Keep water, keep the light, keep showing up, keep being kissed. Not by a mouth, but by the air that met me where I stood. By afternoon that said you came, and that is understood. I fold the blanket slowly so the corners learn to meet. I make the bed like temple for the body, rib to feet. I crack the window just enough to trade a little sky. My arm hears the wind and loosens where it learned to try. I set a chair across from mine and pour a second cup. I name it for the friend I'm still becoming, filling up. The evening turns the lamp to amber, honey, simple gold. It stains my journal pages with the courage I can hold. I close the book without a verdict hanging in the air. I let the quiet testify that I am safe to care. I hang the coat upon a hook and bless the work it did. It wasn't made for fighting, it was made for what I hid. I wash my face with water that remembers mountain snow. It tells my skin, you're welcome, and my bones, you're free to grow. I tell the mirror thank you for refusing to revise the person who is learning how to love what she survives.
Night sets a bowl of silence by the door for me to keep. I drop my jangle in daytime there and watch the echoes sleep. The keys upon the tray arrange themselves in patient rows. They glint like small constellations only ordinary know. I take the heavy one that opens rooms I never use. I turn it slow and let the hinge confess where it was bruised. A breath of cedar finds my chest and says you made it home. I answer with a nod that doesn't need a crown or a throne. I place my coat upon a chair that learned to hold a man who's learning how to be without a finish line or plan. The radio is velvet low, it hums a minor blue, a color made for naming what the day could not get through. rinse a glass and let the water polish out the noise. I pour a little courage not to numb but to get poise. I sit where evening taught me how to listen to my bones. They creak a little honesty in comfortable tones. I think about the streetlights and the faces I pass by, how kindness is a currency that multiplies supply. I open up a window just enough to trade the sky. My breathing takes a slower road, the faster rules run dry. I check the pocket of my mind for lint of older fear. I shake it out and sweep it where the winter won't come near. I find a note I wrote myself, be gentle with the door. You're entering a body that was working hard before. I fold it like a map that leads me back to bread and tea, to making one small supper like an offering to me. I slice the thirst with oranges that glow like borrowed suns. I salt the quiet kindly till the hunger loosens runs. A neighbor laughs through plaster, I can hear a child's feet. They drum a tiny festival across a wooden street. I bless them without knocking. I am glad the world is loud, so I can practice softness underneath the human crowd. The clock decides to hesitate and then it moves again. I meet it with a yes that doesn't promise, doesn't feign. I take the keys and weigh them in a palm that's learned to stay. They do not make me captive, they remember every way. If I'm willing not to know, I write a line that says I'm here and that is more than fine. I sign it with a baritone that keeps a faithful line. I blow the candle out and leave the ember in its cup. I watch the smoke draw question marks that never do give up. I breathe until the mark becomes a road that curves to sleep. I lay my body down where all the simpler mercies keep. Ooh. I stand beside the kettle, morning thin and white. The tiles remember footfalls from a gentler night. I lift my breath and fold it like a linen prayer. 2 bars of humming warm the ordinary air. The window loosens winter from its careful seam. A teaspoon taps a rhythm I can almost dream. I trace a ring of sunlight on the wooden grain and let it mend the hairline fractures of my brain. The clock decides to mercy me with extra slow. I answer with a softer yes than I used to know. The cup receives a river from a patient cloud. I learn to drink without pretending I am proud. Your name arrives as weather, not a knife or law. It touches, passes, leaves a kind of amber draw.
tea and whisper to the plates, you kept a place for me. A sparrow writes an orbit on the early blue. I hum those two small measures like it's something new. Not show, not ache, just breath allowed to be a tone, enough to make a single room feel less alone. I do not turn the radio to fill the space. I let the silence practice its unhurried grace. The floorboard speaks in greetings from the other year. I answer with my heel, I'm still becoming here. The letter in the drawer can rest another day. I know the words, I do not need to make them stay. I rinse a tiny bowl that cried of salt and thyme. It shines and tells my hands they haven't lost their rhyme. I button up a cardigan of weathered wool. It never asks for reasons, only keeps me full. I take the quiet hallway like a simple vow and stroke the pictures till the frames remember how to hold without a tightening around the light, to bless the blurred beginnings of a different sight. The doorknob cool as moonstone, faithful to the touch. It turns and says no hurry, morning is not much. I breathe across the threshold, even on the stoop. The city stretches, yawns and joins my measured loop. A neighbor waters basil on her narrow sill. She nods and I nod back. We share the gentle will to let the world be possible and near again. To count to 4 until the ribs agree with when a bicycle confesses with a friendly click. A bus exhales a cloud that doesn't turn me sick. I watch a golden lab insist the day belongs to leashes made of kindness and of patient songs. I turn my face to light and let it find the bruise. It does not ask for reasons, it just learns and soothes. I tuck a strand of hair behind a listening ear, where once the wind was hostile, now it volunteers. I walk a block and back to say I understand. The distance to myself is shorter than I planned. I close the door and hang the keys where keys can rest. I set a second cup, a quiet offered guest. The steam becomes a small cathedral over clay. do not fix the future with a sharpened pen. I write today I showed up to the world again. I sign my name with letters, learning how to curve. I promise I will practice giving what I serve. I lift the cup, the humming still inside my chest. It isn't music anymore, but it is rest. And if the day grows loud and makes me disappear, I'll hold those two bars close.
Porchlight knows the names we said in softer years. It burns a quiet circle through our drifting fears. You stand beneath the lintel like a careful rhyme. I answer from the stair with ordinary time. You ask me if the winter left a mark or two. I say it taught my shoulders how to let me through. I pour a cup and leave another by your hand. You smile because you know I finally understand. We don't declare a future like a silver crown. We set the table steady, we agree to sit down. You tell me of the mornings where your breath ran thin. I tell you how the night learned how to lift me in. The porchlight hums a moth song in a minor key. We keep our voices human, we let silence be. A neighbor laughs and drags a chair across the floor. We hear the street rehearse the kindness we came for. You lean your elbows on the wood that always knew. I rest my palms where pain can never quite come through. The grain remembers weather like a living skin. It takes the rain and sun and asks them both to win. We talk of little rituals that mended bones, of walking slow enough to truly be alone, of calling friends before the bridge begins to shake, of learning when to rest and when to stay away. The bulb is small but brave against the curtain's breadth. It draws a circle wide enough for life and death. You say you feared forgiveness meant forgetting me. I say it meant the porchlight left a key to see. We hold the cups like maps that someone drew by heart, and find the streets that led us back to where we start. A moth performs an orbit round the filament. We toast the way that light survives our argument. I ask about the song you used to sing it to. You hum a bar, then laugh, and I remember too. We do not chase the chorus, we are not improved. We let the melody lean the furnace right. We list the things we cannot promise anymore, and bless the ones we can, like sweeping kitchen floor, like buying fruit that bruises quick to make a pie, like walking someone home without a reason why. You say that grief still keeps a drawer of winter gloves. I say that joy keeps kindling and they speak as loves. We do not vote to banish either from the house. We set a room for each and feed them both with vows. The porch light throws a halo where the steps begin. We stand and test our ankles on the night again. You take the rail, I take the stand where shadows cross. We practice stepping off without rehearsing loss. We pace the block and back until the edges blur. We trade the pace of certainty for something truer. A cat inspects the boundary like a gentle judge. It rules in favor of the ones who learn to budge. The sky decides on navy with a seam of rust. We walk and let the little plans collect no dust. When we return, the porch light nods us both inside. The hallway breeze, the picture frames grow less afraid. You hang your coat and I hang up a stubborn pride. We choose the quiet chair where listening is made. You say you'll keep the promise not to run from slow. I say I'll keep the promise not to make it show. We let the cups go cold and do not take offense. Some warmth belongs to bodies and to common sense. The porch light learns our names again and dims to low. We whisper good light, not goodbye before we go. You take the path along the hedge with careful feet. I hold the door a moment, letting dusk repeat. The last thing that we share is not a staged embrace. It's how we leave the light on for each other's play.
I keep 2 jars upon the shelf above the sink. One marked honey, one marked salt for how I think. When days are bitter, salt can teach the tongue to know. When days are kind, the honey shows me how to glow. I learned this from a woman on a market street. She said, child, both are holy, both are bread to eat. So now I season mornings with a mindful hand. I let the balance tell me where I ought to stand. I drizzle sweetness over tea when nerves are high. I pinch the truth when flattery begins to lie. The window fogs and clears in gentle tides of breath. I wipe a circle, watch the neighborhood of death. Refuse to hold my doorway like it did before. Life knocks as life, not verdicts, keeping score. The radio is velvet with a minor hymn. I hum along until the edge is soft and slim. I cut an orange open like a sunrise split. I taste the brightness, learning not to hurry it. The letters on the fridge spell messages from friends. Magnets small as lanterns holding up their ends. I read one twice. You showed up when you couldn't shine. I answered back in mind. Your showing up was mine. I set a second cup, a ritual of grace. It keeps a chair for absence I can still embrace. I salt the soup of memory till flavors mend. I sweeten stories others told me to the end. I do not sugar sorrow till it can't be felt. I do not scour joy until the sugar melts. I stir and watch the surface find a quiet gloss. The way the humble learn to carry weight and loss. The doorbell rings, it's only wind against the frame. It asks permission, leaves without a need for name. I fold the towel warmer from the oven's breath. It smells like home, a treaty signed with former death. I tie my hair and write a list of simple needs. Like call your mother, water, basil, sort the beads of thoughts that clack and scatter when I walk too fast. Of things that wait for hands instead of thunder blast. I add a line, forgive the day for being day. Forgive yourself for needing someone else to stay. I step outside and let the hallway teach its creak. A language old as rafters, patient, honest, meek. I pass the mirror by the door and nod, not judge. A truce with eyes that learn to never ever budge. Receive my weight like river accepts rain. They do not ask me why, they only wick the strain. The street is baking bread inside a corner shop. The air is yellow music saying you can stop. I buy a roll and split it with a sparrow near. Takes a crumb and leaves a blessing small and clear. I fold a paper bag like saving daylight thin. I tuck it in my pocket with a steady grin. I walk the long way home to let my thoughts uncurl. I practice being one unhurried woman, girl. Back in the kitchen, steam has left a ghost of rings. I set the jars back down like patient living things. I take a pinch of salt to honor what was hard. I take a spoon of honey for the softened shawl. I lift a cup and let the balance kiss my mouth. A compass made of north and gentle faithful south.
Like Stair, remember mornings when I nearly turned and stayed. A rail of worn out amber where my trembling fingers prayed. I breathe the dust like incense from a quiet winter choir. I count to 4, release the jaw and cool the fevered wire. A cup beside the doorway makes a circle made of steam. It marks the place I learned to trade a verdict for a dream. The mirror by the shoe rack doesn't argue with my ears. I thread the scarf more slowly than the city wants me to. I let the fabric loosen where the tightness used to chew. A neighbor's radio is velvet low and almost kind. It keeps my feet from rushing past the wisdom I can find. The hallway writes its grammar with a language made of creek. It tells me take another breath and then another week. The lock says we have time to be a human at the door. I bless the shoes for learning how to carry honest weight. I bless the keys for practicing a softer kind of gait. I bless the hands that failed and still decided not to quit. I bless the air for holding me without demanding it. I bless the quiet picture frames for bending, not for breaks. I bless the stair for keeping what a careful morning takes. I place the second cup, although I'll only hear as one. The street is stitching sunlight to the corners of the cold. I watch a sparrow chalk a loop that doesn't need to hold. A bus sighs out a secret in a comfortable seat. It tunes the hour low enough that I can stand with me. A child with mittened hands counts crosswalk dots like prayer beads. Her mother nods the rhythm that a gentle city needs. I match their measured cadence with the breath I promised you. I promised you I'd show up even after you were gone. Not to replace the music, but to hum a sober dawn. I promised I would set a chair for absence at my table, to honor what we couldn't hold and what I'm now more able. I promise not to chase a finish line that doesn't keep. I promise to protect the part of me that needs to weep. I promise small and dailiness and honest cups of tea. A florist ties a ribbon on a stem of wintergreen. I buy it for the stair that knows the years I've lived between. I tuck the leaf behind the rail where fingerprints can rest. It looks like someone's blessing, small and faithful, near my chest. A cyclist rings a little bell, a silver lucid tone. It doesn't shout for passage, it just tells me I'm not alone. I wave and let the sound become a tiny lighthouse flame. I think of how you laughed the night we named the constellations. Not like experts, only too sincere, unruly invitations. We drew a map of kindness with a pencil made of rain. It faded, but the paper learned a softer kind of grain. I carry that old notebook in the lining of my coat. It keeps a space for sentences I've never learned to quote. But I can live them slowly on these amber winter stairs. I climb 2 flights and pause to read the city's quiet face. It doesn't look like triumph, it looks more like human pace. An old man folds a newspaper and straightens out a seam. A student holds a window for a bicycle with steam. A woman sets a thermos on a stoop and waves me by. I nod the word that mouth can't shape when gratitude is shy. The noon begins to brighten where the morning left its thread. I circle back to home before the day can make me hard. I practice being gentle at the threshold, not a guard. I place the keys like sleeping birds upon a wooden shore. I set the water boiling as a signal I'll restore. I take the scarf off loosen, not like losing, but like live. I write a single line I stayed, and that's the gift I give. Then breathe beside the ember stair that taught my feet to stay. Two bars of humming find the rim and ride the steam I pour. They warm the porcelain enough to be a softer door. The kettle holds a whistle like a robin in the snow. It doesn't split the silence, it just teaches breath to grow. I watch the tiny galaxies of heat above the tea. A universe that fits inside the room that cares for me. The window cures its silver fog and writes a line of blue. A spoon becomes a metronome for ribs that learn to rest. Taps a quiet courage into space above my chest. I do not turn the radio to louder than a hand. I let the hush conduct a choir I barely understand. Your name arrives like weather, touch then passing, never rule. you do not need to manage every fire. The third says write a sentence that can hold you when you tire. The fourth says let the day be not a ladder, just a lyre. I listen to the instrument my breathing wants to be, a low and human melody that sits with salt and glee. I place a second saucer out of habit, grace and truth. The chair across from mine is not a vacancy or ache. It's where I set the future down so present doesn't break. It's where I bless the part of me that still forgets to eat. It's where I practice greeting what I'm almost brave to meet. A sparrow scribbles cursive on the air with winter feet. It underlines the margin where small mercies always be. The whistle fades to velvet, I can hear the clock be kind. I open drawers and find the linen folded by a friend. A letter wrapped in cedar waits for days I need to mend. I do not read it now, instead I touch the woven seam. It says the cloth remembers you, you're threaded in the theme. I straighten cups and saucers like a chorus on a shelf. Each keeps a little sanctuary, large enough for self. The sink reflects a sliver of a day I will not rush. I trace the grain of wooden light along the window's frame. It feels like someone blessing me without the need for name. The street rehearses footfalls in a minor steady line. The kettle makes a quiet note of finish and of fine. I close my eyes and hum the two bars I began before, and feel them change from music into muscle, bone and core. They turn my chest into a hinge that moves but will not tear. I tie my hair with patience, not with fear of going out. I let the coat be light because the heart is light, no doubt. I set the cup upon the sill to catch a lick of dawn. It gathers gold I'll carry when the fragile hours yawn. I place the keys where keys can rest and not require speed. I read the list I wrote last night, small water, simple feed. I add a line, forgive the weather for its honest swing. A bus size open somewhere on the street below my floor. Crosses the hallway like a tide across the shore. I let the world come closer without jostling my tea. I let the minute bloom enough to make a place for me. 2 bars of humming lift again but only in my head. No one needs to hear them, they can live as breath instead. I close the door with gentleness and carry out the cup.
I set a second cup beside the one that holds my hand. A simple human ritual the morning understands. The steam draws little question marks that never need reply. They curl against the window where the winter learns to try. I take the chair across from me and pull it slightly near, so conversation has a place to sit when it appears. I do not force the topic, I just listen to the room. The radiator hums a line impatient, mine are blue. It matches how my baritone has learned to carry through. No pushing of the chorus, just the verse that doesn't leave. A rhythm made for doing what a faithful body weaves. The bread knife makes a sober hymn along the wooden board. It blesses every crumb as if a quiet working lord. I butter both the slices like a courtesy to grief. A calendar with crooked squares forgives me for the blanks. It knows the days I showed up are the ones that earn my thanks. I jot a note that says be gentle with the closing door. You're entering a person who has labored long before. I check the pocket of my coat for lint of yesterday. I shake it into trash and let the evening's rusticate. The key ring rings a silver bell that says you're home enough. I think about the porchlight that I left for someone late. How leaving light is sometimes all we mean by keep the gate. I think about a promise that I kept by walking slow. How slowness was the only way my courage learned to grow. A neighbor clears a throat and then a hallway laugh is born. It runs along the plaster like a ribbon cut from dawn. I raise my cup and let the sound dissolve a little ice. Oh, the chair across from me is not a monument to lack. It's where I practice welcome when the world is at my back. It's where I put the hat I used to wear to look like stone. It's where I lay the armor down and dare to be alone. I speak aloud a sentence I can't manage as a creed. Do small things very well and give the day the thing it needs. The glass reflects a man who's learned to live without a script. I fold a napkin twice the way my father used to do. A square that makes a landing pad for mercy passing through. The kettle finds its center note and summons quiet hands. I pour and watch the humble swirl obey the gentler plans. I the shell and now I plant them slow in coffee tins and kitchen bowls and soil that wants to know if staying counts as motion when a heart learns how to mend. The alley lifts a city wind and lets it comb my hair. It doesn't steal the warmth, it just reminds me someone's there. I tie the laces steady on a pair of living shoes. I stand and test the hinge that turns but doesn't have to choose. Between the fight and flight I used to wear like fits of pride. I take the door and bless the hinge for letting softer glide. Then blow across the second cup and leave the chair some light.
We meet where small streets polish out the noon. A crosswalk ticking steady like a tune. You say you took the long way not to rush. I say I brought a second cup for hush. We trade a smile that fits the weather's size. No fireworks, just human honest eyes. We stand beside a railing warm with wear and count the barges sliding patient air. Your coat is brushed with flour from a ship. My hands still carry paper, ink and thrift. You ask if I've been sleeping like I should. I say I've learned to choose the home of good. We do not build a promise out of stone. We build a bench for resting when alone. The river keeps a ledger we can't read, but pays in little currents what we need. We pause to let a cyclist hum on through. He nods, we nod, the city nods us too. You tell me why you kept the quiet key. I tell you how the quiet kept me free. We lean our elbows on the iron pane and feel the buzz of traffic grow more faint. The wind rehearses rosemary and rain, the recipe for starting slow again. A siren fades into a softer road. The clouds agree to lift their milder load. A busker tunes a nylon minor 5. He smiles like someone glad to be alive. We drop a coin that clinks like thank you said, and not a royalty for I say it meant we learned to pay the debt, not by erasing tabs from what we owe, but paying daily kindness, small and slow. We let the sun write thumbprints on our sleeves. We let the river answer what it weaves. The busker finds a cadence built to stay. We hum along and let him lead the way. We count to 4, then trade our lines like vows. Not wedding rings, but work a heart allows. You sing the part where nights were long and thin. I sing the line where mornings let me in. We meet on end, the softest word we know. It holds the room where both our tempos go. The bridge decides to carry us a while. It doesn't move, our breathing makes the mile. We list the chores we'll do when we go home. Fold sheets, call friends, return the borrowed tone. The song resolves and doesn't beg for more. We clap like two repaired and steady doors. You point to clouds that open just enough. I say that's us, not perfect, only tough. We rise and thank the rail for being warm. We bless the wind for not becoming storm. We walk the length and back without a plan. 2 meters of a softer kind of span.
My hands wake up before the clock can claim. They find the sink and learn the water's name. They turn the cup until the steam is right. They set a second saucer in the light. They smooth a page where yesterday sat down. They write one line and do not need a crown. They fold a towel warm from simple heat. They lay it over shoulders, ripped to feet. They button sweaters patient with their thread. They shoo the hurried voices from my head. They trace the window's grain of winter blue. They bless the hinge for letting daylight through. They tie the laces slow, not as a race. They lift the face to meet a softer pace. They hold the rail and thank the creaking stair. They keep the story human, small and fair. They wave to neighbors, water in the sill. They catch a laugh and hold it still until They pass it on to anyone who needs a hand to count the scattered, rattled beads. They buy a loaf and carry home the rice. They learn how bread keeps courage in its guise. They cut the apple thin and share the half. They make a room for sorrow's honest laugh. They rinse a glass and leave no sudden clang. They place it upside down to air it sing. They mend a sleeve with thread that doesn't match. They like the proof of life in every patch. They open letters only when they should. They let the cedar bless the folded good. They stack the bowls the way the choir stands. They set a table wide enough for hands. They sweep the corners where the winters keep a crumb of thunder, a forgotten weep. They feed the plants and turn them toward the day. They let the leaves decide a better way. They pack a parcel made of second chance. They tie it with a ribbon paid by stents. They press a note that says I saw you try. Between a bill and flyer, human shy. They clean the mirror once, not every mark. They leave a kindness smudge against the dark. They hold a book and let the story land. They hold the page the way you hold a hand. They choose the smaller tools for careful jobs. They wipe the counter after lemon sobs. They cool the pan and thank the fire for heat. They kiss the air and call the meal complete. They knead the pillow into friendly shape. They learn the art of staying, not escape. They lay across the chest when breath is slow. They signal I am here enough to grow. They turn the light to amber, not to white. They let the dust be teacher, not a fight. They close the door without a bang or plea. They rest like mornings resting into me.
Two bars so I don't walk alone. The hallway breathes its grammar made of creek. It teaches me to listen first and speak. The second cup is waiting by the sill, a ritual that says I choose to fill. The radiator warms a minor blue. I let the color write me something true. The mirror near the door does not revive. It lets the winter soften at my eyes. A scarf becomes a ribbon made of dawn. I tie it loose so ribs can carry on. The keyring rings a silver little bell, a message from an ordinary spell. I place the list against the wooden frame. Forgive the weather, write your simple name. The knob turns slow, a hinge that will not tear. Between the you that was and who is here. Two measures still are breathing in my touch the rail where darker mornings wet. The door returns to close without a fight. It learns the way of gentler kinds of might. I hum again, but only in my head, enough to keep the scatterings from dread. The threshold holds a map that doesn't shout. It draws a road from maybe into out. I take one step and name it simply mine. I take another, let the sidewalk sign. A bakery exhales a yellow hymn. It rises through the block to bone and limb. I stand and let the heat forgive my hands for how they carried colder counterplans. A sparrow writes an almost circle there, an alphabet of almost learned repair. A bus exhales a patient working sigh. I nod to it into the bluer sky. A neighbor waves a mitten kind of wave. I wave it back with what the morning gave. No trumpet for the threshold's faithful art. It's only breath allowed to be a start. I walk a single block and read the town in windows where the plants refuse to brown. Posters taped with corners curled but brave, and faces making room for what they save. I find the postbox red as someone's ache. I mail a note you did not have to break. I mail one more, you showed up, that will do. I sign it with the hum that led me through. I circle home before the day turns loud. I keep the quiet like a minor cloud. I bless the hinge that turns with human care. I bless the air still warm from choosing there. I set the shoes where shoes can take a breath. I crown the cup with steam that spells out yes. I let the measures loosen into tea. They sweeten nothing, only steady me. The latch is still a stone, but now it's warm. It knows my name inside its ordinary form. And when the night returns to ask me how, I kept the door without a solemn vow. I'll hum those two soft lines, then close my eyes and cross the threshold back to gentler skies.
is small but brave upon the shelf. It keeps a circle wide enough for itself. The cup is warm the way a name can be when said without a crown, but honestly. The window writes a ribbon made of blue. It doesn't ask for proof, it's simply true. I breathe the room that learned my quiet name and let the daylight fold me without claim. The second chair is there the way it was, not absence, only room for what love does. I set a saucer down and bless the air for learning how to carry what I bear. The clock keeps time that isn't sharp or loud, a human pace beneath the living cloud. I smooth a page and write a simple line. I showed up to this day and called it mine. I tie my hair with patience, not with fear. I let the mirror meet me plain and near. I take the keys and lay them where they rest. I let the ribs unlock inside my chest. I count to 4 the way you taught me once, and feel my steps grow softer by the ounce. The hallway speaks in grammar made of wood. It creaks, a blessing says you did what's good. The stair remembers amber on my hand, where trembling learned the language of a stand. The door becomes a hinge that doesn't hurt. It turns on oil of kindness, not of dirt. I open just enough to greet the street and let the morning practice steady beat. A bakery releases yellow hen. It rises into bone and honest slim. A sparrow draws an almost perfect ring, where thank you finds a place to be a thing. A bus exhales a coal of working heat. I nod and learn the pace of common feet. I circle once and bring the light back in. I lay it on the table from my skin. The radio is velvet in a minor. It doesn't bruise, it only makes me finer. I slice the bread with liturgy of crumbs. I salt the stew where memory still hums. I sweeten tea with honey from a jar. I sign the day you are, and so you are. I water plants that bend toward my voice. They lift their green and make a little choice to stay with me through afternoons that ache, to hold a leaf for every honest break. I clean the glass and leave a kindness mark, a fingertip of mercy in the dark. I fold a towel warm from simple heat and lay it where my shoulders come to meet. I pick the letter up, then put it down. Some words can heal by staying underground. I place a ribbon in the cedar box. I do not test the door with iron locks. I trust the house that learned to breathe with me. I trust the breath that learned to let things be. I set another cup though none arrives, because a heart heart is richest when it gives. I light the lamp before the dusk can ask. I do the small and do not hide the task. The window's blue becomes a tender gray, the color used by promises that stay. I stand and let the hush rehearse my name until the sound is steady, kind and same. I do not chase the chorus out of reach. I sing the line that daily life can teach. That good light is not thunder, not a show. It's how we hold a room and let it grow. It's how the keys lie quiet on the tray. It's how the code forgives the colder day. It's how a second saucer keeps its post and welcomes me when I have been a ghost. It's how I bless the hinge before I leave, and bless it when I'm back and choose to grieve. It's how the night can enter, not invade, and how I sleep inside what I have made. If you should pass and see the windows flame, know you are counted softly by your name. I left the light the way the day left mine, not loud but like a hand along the spine. I close the book and let the page be warm, and live this ordinary, sacred form.